Okay, welcome, Anne, Anne Weiser Cornell. It's a pleasure to have you with us in this cycle, yes, of interviews of people related to focusing. In your case, you have many books written about focusing. I have them in Spanish.
Oh, there they are.
Yes. In Spanish.
All my books have been translated into
Yes,
Spanish.
and this is the new edition with the
Right.
this spiral. Bueno, and I was reading Untangling, but in the Kindle. that version, no? So those are your books, and you are a well-known author, speaker, teacher, international in the world of focusing, no? And you've met Gendlin too, in person.
I worked with Gendlin. Yes.
We worked together. If you want to begin the talk about your origins in focusing, how you arrived there.
Well, I was 22 years old, so I'm 75 now. That's 53 years ago.
Alive.
And I'm so lucky that I found focusing at 22 because I needed it. And that was the only place in the world where you could learn it, because it was before Gendlin's book, Focusing, was published. So that was in the University of Chicago, in the Hyde Park neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois. And I was going to the university as a linguistics student. I had no interest in psychology, that is as far as I know. But Gendlin was teaching focusing for free in a community church. And his students had asked him to teach focusing and listening, reflecting, responding, because they wanted to do something to help the world. It was the early 1970s. There was a great deal of unrest in the United States because of our unfortunate involvement in Vietnam. And rather than going to protests, the psychology students wanted to know how to help people emotionally. So two different friends in different parts of my life both told me there's something going on at the community church on Sunday nights. It's free. And that was my first experience of focusing. There was Gendlin, about 45 years old, sitting on a table at one end of this room that was filled with people, sitting on the floor, sitting on chairs. And he was saying, if you're here, you belong here. So his philosophy of inclusion and acceptance of all was there from the very start. And I could not get focusing at first. I came from an alcoholic family background. We didn't talk about emotions. We didn't have emotions. It wasn't safe to have emotions. Of course, I had emotions, but I was cut off from them. So when he said to the group, he would guide the group through focusing. He said to the group, go to the place in your body where you have feelings. I had no such place. And people had their eyes closed, but I peeked my eyes open and I looked around to see if other people were understanding what he was saying. Some of them were crying. I felt really odd, and I might have never gone back. But also that evening, we got into small groups and we practiced reflecting, listening, going around the room and just saying back what the other person just said. And I loved it. I was good at it. I went back And this became such an important part of my life, my growth, my healing, just to be in focusing partnerships. I remember that first year, I had 4 focusing partners a week. And so much was emerging and changing inside me. But I never thought that focusing would be my future.
At that time, no?
No, not then. It was just something we did with each other, and it helped me. But I was on track to become a teacher of linguistics. And a few years later, I got a job at a university teaching linguistics. The problem was that I already knew focusing. And I got to that university and I could feel something's not right here. This is not right for me. This is not what I want for my life, is teaching linguistics to future teachers of English and having this distance, this classroom distance, having to give people grades. It was not right. So it took me a while to believe my own inner messages, but I left that place. And when I returned to Chicago, I got in touch with Gendlin, and he said, oh, well, I'm starting to do these workshops, you see, because by then his book Focusing had been published. And people from all over the world were saying, when's your next workshop? So sure, I'd love to help you teach your workshops. And that was the beginning of my real focusing training. Weekend after weekend to see Jean teaching focusing, and then go with the people in the group one by one to see if I could show them focusing. So that was the beginning. And from the people assisting with his workshops, there were many of us. B.B. Simon was one of them, for example. We started to talk to each other. What are we doing here? We're guiding people. What? Jean never trained us to do that. He just said, go do it.
Yes, go do it. And you made the reflecting part, no, with your peers, B.B. Simon and others. What is happening here, no?
That's right.
I admire that in you, that you have that reflecting can be mentioned, no? Say, oh, what happened here, no? In this new student, what is happening? Because then you write about it. What are the challenges when the person is new, or what challenges we have when we are accompanying other. What part arises in us too. No?
And maybe that's connected to my scholarly training in linguistics to investigate what's going on. But I didn't abandon my training in linguistics completely, but I found myself applying it to what people are saying to each other in these focusing partnership relationships.
Yes.
That's how it started.
What kind of phrasing was there, no? When we talk to another person, and when we talk to the person inside, no? To that something in you. Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
And
one of those,
No, yes.
Well, one of those phrases is, you just said, it's something in you or something in me. And I noticed that. I noticed Gendlin saying it. I noticed other experienced focusers saying it. And I said, look at this. Let's do it on purpose. Let's teach it to people. Yeah. So that was my gift, to notice.
To notice, yes. Yes. And when I was listening to you, I heard that something in you confirmed you inside that was the place, no?
That's right. That's right.
To go again, no?
Yeah, that's right.
And then something in you said, this is not right, when you
That's right.
when you were in the linguistics
That's right. When I
university,
was
the formal one, no?
linguistics was okay, but teaching at a university
Yes,
was
yes,
not okay.
yes.
Yeah.
That kind of teaching
Mhm.
was
No.
inside feeling,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And focusing teaches us that there's an inner sense of rightness and there's an inner sense of wrongness. And we start learning to believe that and respect it. And then in all my life, as I look back, there have been a number of times when I did things that other people might have said, that's a big jump. Are you sure? And the first time was really when I left a good paying full-time job and had nothing that I was going to instead. And my parents were very supportive, but they looked at me like, So, but it was so good that I did that. So, and as I look back, all these choices that focusing has helped me make in my life have all been good. They've taken me forward. Yeah.
Yeah, because they came from that inner place, no?
Right.
That you had learned to listen.
I learned to listen. I think we have that all the time. Our bodies are talking to us, but do we listen? No. And I think when you grow up in a dysfunctional family, in my case, my father was an alcoholic and my mother pretended nothing bad was happening. That's a place where you get the opposite training. You get the training not to pay attention to how you feel and what are the messages. Because if I had paid attention to the messages, they would have been telling me, this is scary. I feel insecure. I can't trust. But that wasn't going to be helpful. There wasn't anything I could have done with that. So better to not pay attention. So focusing is so life-saving. As we learn it, we're healing these earlier times as well. That's another wonderful thing about focusing.
Yes. Yes, I'm very touched by your words and your experience, because in a way, many of us have grown up in some kind of dysfunctional family,
Right, of
in a
course,
way. Yes, and I understand, and I can be empathic about your need of cutting this, so
that's right.
I know what to do. We are good at mathematics or whatever. But then what happens here? It's the unknown territory.
No, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, another place where I made a big decision was when I left Chicago and moved to California. That was a few years later, right? I had been working with Gendlin, helping him teach his workshops for about 3 years. The other workshop assistants and I were talking about an idea that we could create a system where people could be trainers and we could learn from each other. We started to have meetings where we shared what we were learning about how to help another person with focusing. And it seemed like we were on the way to something more. And then my first husband, decided he wanted to live in California. And I said, I'm not leaving, you go ahead. So he did. He left and moved to San Francisco. And my body told me I had made the wrong choice. It would have been nice if it had told me before he left, so we could have gone together. But I don't know, maybe that's not true. Maybe it was okay the way it was. Because I really found out how to make a big decision like that. And because Chicago was the center of the world for focusing, that's where it was happening. But I sensed that I needed to move to California. And six months later, 6 months after my husband left, I joined him. We lived in the kind of apartment I wished I would never live in before, that I wished I would never live in again. Dark and small, because we didn't have an establishment there. I didn't have a job. And I said to myself, what do I want to do with my life? Here I am in California. I followed my sense of rightness to come here. But in Chicago, I had been doing therapy because I was part of the Chicago Counseling Center. I had taken the practicum there. And because I was part of that group that had licensed psychologists, I could do psychotherapy with supervision. And I was also doing paid focusing sessions. People were starting to pay me to have focusing sessions. So I got to California and I said, do I want to be a therapist? Because I would have had to get more training to be legally a therapist in California. Do I want to be a focusing facilitator and focusing teacher? And I got, no, I don't want to be a therapist. Yes, I want to be a focusing facilitator. No one has ever done that before. And as a profession, people had learned focusing, they'd added it to their therapy, they'd done it as an extra, but nobody before had ever been a full-time professional at focusing alone. And at first I thought I had this wild idea, right? I can start right away and make enough money to live on. No, that was wrong. So I got a part-time job as a bookkeeper. And I started reaching out for clients. And it took 6 years. After 6 years, I was able to let go of my part-time job and go full-time as a focusing practitioner. And immediately after I made that decision, I got even more clients. So sometimes the right choice still takes a little time to happen.
Yes. It's the first baby step of the whole process, no?
That's right.
Yes. But you had that certainty inside, no? That it's this way, no? Not therapist, but this, yes.
Yeah. And I was leaving the center of the world for focusing, but I was seeing clients, and what I learned from Jean didn't exactly fit with the actual work with clients, especially the first step of focusing that I learned from Gendlin, clearing a space. It wasn't actually as helpful as we thought it would be to do individual client sessions and have them come back again for more. It took a long time. Not everybody needed it. So I learned from my clients that it's not that focusing needed to be changed, but the way we talked about it, the way we taught it, the form of it was changing. And I began to teach workshops as well. And I was teaching with a new form that didn't have clearing a space at the beginning. I began to discover that what we need instead of clearing a space is inner relationship. where we're saying hello. I learned saying hello from B.B. Simon, but saying hello to what's here, sitting with it, sensing from its point of view, letting it know you hear it. All of those were things I developed in those first years that were different from what I learned from Gendlin. And I believe that if I had stayed in Chicago, I would not have been able to create my own process that way.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was the right thing to do, to leave.
Yeah. Yes, it was following your felt sense, no? It's time to leave. Although, I'm leaving the center of the world of focusing, no?
I know, my thoughts are telling me this is the wrong thing to do. My body says we have to go. And it doesn't explain why. The why comes later.
Yes, the why develops and unfolds later, no? And it's true what you say, no? How many things we learn from the people that come to us. As a student or as a consultant, we go on learning and
isn't that right?
And discovering different subtleties and needs and yes. I
They
think
are our
that,
best teachers.
I think that as it's an experiential method, focusing, it evolves with and changes and with each of us that jump into this world and brings its own experience, no, and way, and as we pass it through our body,
through our body, it changes.
Yes, it changes. It
and you know, I didn't know Gene Gendlin well enough to understand that he would be happy about the changes that I was making. I thought I would have to break with him or resist him or fight with him. But the next time I saw him, he had published his book, Focusing Oriented Psychotherapy, and he signed it to me. And it says, "Dear Anne, keep going. I understand that's adelante."
Adelante, tal cual.
He wants everyone to teach focusing through, as you said, Ceci, bring it through your own body. It's alive. Focusing is alive. It's not dead. And that's why it spread so well and meant so much to so many people. Yeah. So the next thing that happened in my story is that I realized that I wanted to write a book. I wanted to write a book about focusing. I wanted to write a book that would help people. And it was difficult. I would say I had writer's block. I tried different approaches, different topics. I decided I wanted to write a book about focusing partnership. I felt I can't write a book just about focusing. Gene already did that. So I kept trying to find this topic or that topic. And I did some amazing focusing sessions on the writer's block that I learned so much about helping with when there's a block, the part that doesn't want to do it. And then I also had the experiences with Barbara McGavin that were the early experiences in developing the untangling work, where I realized I'd been using alcohol addictively. We developed inner relationship methods that could be used with really difficult life issues. And a few months after that happened, a publisher called me and said, "We are looking for someone to write a book about focusing." So I think that's another interesting thing about focusing. When you're on track, when you're doing what feels right to you, sometimes things come to you. And that was my first book, The Power of Focusing. And that was translated into Spanish, but it's not in print anymore. But
yes, I have a different version of the cover. Yes,
Right.
El poder de focusing. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
This book was such a wonderful moment in my life. I really felt I had achieved so much of what I wanted to do with my life. Before I could even see the book, it hadn't arrived. My copy hadn't arrived in the mail. My telephone rang. I put my phone number in the book. This was 1996. I put my phone number in the book and the phone rang. And the person said, "You don't know me, but I just want to thank you for writing that wonderful book." And that was the highlight. It was the highlight of my life until now. Yeah, until then. Yeah.
The resonance of the readers, no, directly on your phone.
This is what, yeah, I mean, writing, it shouldn't be one way. It's a relationship. It's a conversation. And even before that book came out, I was being invited to teach in other countries because of the inner relationship work. I began to teach in Europe in 1990. 1990 was the first time I taught in Europe. And so really from then on, every year, I was going to Europe to teach in the Netherlands and Germany and England, traveling to teach. So you could say I was internationally known.
Yes, yes, from California to the world.
And I loved traveling, and I loved meeting people in other countries, and I loved being able to speak clearly in English. I couldn't really speak those other languages, but I knew how to speak clearly in English, and people liked that. And so my second book was a collection of, well, I shouldn't say that, because if we're talking about my books in order, the next ones were the student manuals. You had a copy there with the spiral bonding.
Yes.
The student,
These ones,
the focusing student and companion manual, part 1 and part 2. And Barbara McGavin and I wrote those together, and they came out in 2002. And they've been translated into, I think, 5 or 6 languages, including Spanish. And people use them in focusing courses. And so do we. We still use them in our courses. So it's amazing that 23 years later, I mean, I see many flaws in those manuals. If I could revise, but now they've been translated so many times, I don't think I should ever revise them. And then a few years later, I came out with this book, The Radical Acceptance of Everything. You have that was translated into Spanish.
Yes.
And
I like in the radical acceptance of everything, you see the evolution, no? You say, I wrote this in no? But now I will say this, no?
That's right. That's right. Every article has an introduction that places it in the story of the evolution of focusing. And there are 4 new articles written for that book that I'm very proud of, including one on the inner critic, one on presence, which we now call self in presence, and so on.
So there is a new version, a new edition from this with 4 articles.
No. That one, from the beginning, it had 4 articles. 4 articles. So the other articles in the book had been previously published in my newsletter, The Focusing Connection. Yes. But I wrote that, so it was those articles that were already published, and then 4 that I wrote for the book. Especially for the book.
Yes.
Right. That's right. Yes. So that was exciting and felt really good.
Yes. I remember that I took a course with you when there wasn't this Zoom or it wasn't with images. It was only the
Oh, it
voice.
was on the phone. Yes, I
Yes,
started teaching
like,
phone courses.
yes, yes. It was the first one that I took was how to teach focusing.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so we revised the way you were teaching. You sent them some material about that, and we talked about the process, no? How, yes, yes. And then I had the pleasure to be in the conversations that you led with Jean,
Oh, yeah.
and about focusing on dreams and conversations with Jean, and I think one about him reading the chapter, what can do a therapist, no, to make an experiential step or something like that.
Yeah.
So I had the pleasure of listening to his voice, and meeting him that way, and I remember that I remind him so alive in his voice, so curious as a child and as a philosopher, that curiosity is so alive,
And talking to every person as if this is the only
Yes,
person in the world.
yes,
So present. Yes.
yes.
So nice. Yes, we have some of those courses recorded for sale on our website, but not the conversations. I've never put those out as a recording. The dreams one is really good.
Yes,
Yeah.
really good. Yes. I like that course a lot, and we had a partnership, and we went on focusing on dreams a long time after the course ended. So it's a thing that I appreciate a lot. How in our dreams, it's still alive, that process, that we are living processes, and although we are sleeping, something comes up,
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
to bring us the following step, or the life that
life happens.
wants
Life
to
happens in dreams too.
in
Next
dreams.
steps occur.
Yes.
Yeah. What a beautiful work on dreams. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So since 1994, Barbara McGavin and I have been collaborating. We're really the co-creators of inner relationship focusing. We started in 1994 working with our own really difficult life areas, using focusing, but also making formulations within focusing that would be especially helpful for difficult life issues. We started to talk about parts. So the part that wants to drink, or the part that wants to die. And people wanted us to teach workshops. So we began to teach them. And we eventually called our work Untangling. So I can tell you the good news, and maybe you already know it, that the translation of Untangling into Spanish will be coming out soon.
No, I didn't know that.
Done
That's
by
good
Claudia
news.
Aguado. Yeah.
From that group. Yes.
Published by
Great.
the PCE 7.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I have another book from you, and I haven't brought it. Presence.
Yes, I have that here.
Yes. That's in Spanish too. Yes.
Here it is,
Yes.
the Spanish
Presencia.
version.
Yes.
And
I have that
that's
upstairs.
from that same group.
Yes.
From that same group,
Yes.
we will have also the Untangling translation. Right. I had the pleasure of visiting and teaching in Argentina so many times, thanks to my dear friend Elena Frezza.
Yes.
That was really, and you and I met there too, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So nice.
Yes, really last time you came in 2018, I think.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's when Barbara McGavin and I taught the Untangling work in 2016 and 2018. That's the last time.
Yes.
That's the last time. But maybe we'll come again. I hope so.
Oh, yes, maybe.
We are older now, and
no, but you are still
travel
traveling.
As much.
You are still traveling.
Not as much, though. Not as much. COVID happened right when I was starting to feel a little bit tired of traveling. And then I do really like to be at home, and I really like being with my sweetie. And now I can hardly imagine that I used to travel so much. But we still want to come to Argentina. We can make, because we love it. We love being in Argentina with Argentine people who are so warm and lovely.
We'll have the week long here in Argentina in person only this year.
Ooh, wow, good for you. Lovely.
Yes. I remember that you came in many times, and I think you were the first one that introduced or presented something about Gendlin's philosophy, the process model.
Process model.
Yes, and
right.
I remember that in a master class that you said, well, after so many years of focusing, now I dare to read this, no, and to begin talking about this, no, and how to make a presentation with experiential, no, because it's easy, no? When you read philosophical texts, you have to read 3 or 4 times, and
but I developed some games that people could do with each other to experience the concepts from the process model. That was really fun. Right.
Yes, and well, not the last one, this one.
This one. 2013.
Yes.
Focusing on clinical practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, you write about that background that supports this practice, no?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, because focusing works because our bodies imply their next steps. And that's a strange idea. If you live in a world of science where everything is just divided into smaller and smaller units, it's hard to put your head in this place where Gendlin's talking about what it is to be alive, and that living process isn't anything like a machine. Our brains are not computers. Our bodies are not machines. Machines are really different. Bodies always imply their next steps, and that's why focusing works. And I heard him say that so many times until I finally got it.
Yes.
And now it's just makes sense. And so I think if anybody has some trouble understanding Gendlin's philosophy, keep going. Keep going and talk to friends about it, and walk around the world and live and breathe and look at the flowers, because it's about life itself. And one thing that Gendlin said that I love so much, he said, life wants to live.
Yes.
And that's like a beautiful reminder. If when we feel depressed or dark, when things are hard, life wants to live. There is life in there, in everything. It's a good thing to remember.
Yes. That's a good reminder. Yes, brings hope, no? Hope and possibility. I think these days that we have the semana de focusing, that it's open to people and free, no? And many people know something about focusing because of those workshops, no? It was last week. It ended last Saturday. And the word that came to me this time, no, when I went to my inner space, was focusing is possibility, full of possibilities. It opens you to that possible election or choice that you have to do, a possible step. It enlarges the life, or potentiates life too.
Oh, beautifully said. Yeah, beautifully said.
Yes.
Right. And when we feel that we're locked in, like I have only one choice or I have only 2 choices and both are wrong, then that needs focusing.
Yeah.
because it's never really true that we are locked in like that. But when we need to turn toward what feels impossible and let the feel of it come, and
Yes.
be compassionate and empathic toward ourselves. There is a next step will be there.
Yes. 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 Okay. Bueno,
Wow.
we are arriving our set time, but we could go on talking.
We could go on, and
yes,
yet
yes.
and yet it feels complete. I don't.
Yes, yes.
I'm not missing anything. I have said everything I really wanted to say.
Okay, okay.
So good.
That's
Yeah.
great. Okay. It was nice, nice and cozy, warm. Yes,
That's right.
yes,
That's
yes,
right.
yes. The space and to be environment, and, talking
Yeah.
in Gendlin's, to be environment for one another in
That's right.
in this talk.
That's right.
Okay.
We made a beautiful conversation together, Sophie.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much. It's
Thank
been
you.
nice.
Thank you to you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's hope that perhaps you'll come soon.
I hope so. We'll see.
You
Yeah.
will see. Okay.
I hope so.
Thank you. Thank
All
you very
right.
much. In the
Take
name
care.
of ACAF too, thank you very much.
Okay, good. All the
Bye-bye.
best to you. Keep
Bye-bye.
going.